Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Alfies' Body Transformation Journey. As always, I will be going through the food and the gym routine that I've been going through over the past week. We will do the weigh-in, you'll see how I'm doing in terms of weight and how the body's starting to look now. And I'll also do a segment at the end, which is all about mental health, the struggles that I've had or things that I've overcome. Thank you so much to everyone that's been watching this video. Thank you so much to everyone that's subscribed so far. Really helps this channel to get further out to more people, and it's really been great. I'm really happy to be able to spread that message and try and help some more people. So thank you so much. So first we will talk about the food and the gym sections of my week. Firstly, I made a massive error in terms of what I was doing for food. I was using a calorie calculator, which was from my Fitbit, which you can do it directly from there. And I was adding what I thought to be the correct values. I was struggling to move any weight whatsoever. And that was because my idea of what 200 grams or 100 grams was miles away. So I started using some brown pastas and rices instead. What I thought I was only using like 150 or 200 grams. When I finally used the weighing scales, I realized that I was actually closer to 400 grams, which is huge portions. But I just didn't realize quite how big my portions were. So all the calorie counting that I'd been doing was completely inaccurate, and it was well off what I thought I was doing. So I'm now using weighing scales for pretty much every food that I'm preparing, to make sure that I can put accurate measurements into my into the Fitbit and get a better reading of where I'm at in terms of diet. It has really helped me so far, and towards the end of the week the weight change did change slightly, which was great. In terms of gym, I'm still going very often. I'm still running to the gym, so I'm running about 4.5 kilometers to the gym. I actually managed to shave 3 minutes off my time, which was around 15% of the overall time from my first run through to my third run. So really proud of doing that. Really happy with the performance that I'm showing, or the performance improvement I should say. It's nowhere near where I'd like to be. I mean, doing just under 4.5 kilometers in 31 minutes is not necessarily an impressive number for anybody that runs quite often. But it is a hilly run, and I'm really proud of the fact that I've managed to push on and gain a better performance than I originally thought I'd be able to do. So really happy with that. Gym's going well, still trying to push the weightlifting to try and gain a bit of muscle, and I am now looking into, over the next couple of months, maybe starting CrossFit, or at least sort of try and see what that's all about. I've watched documentaries, as I'm sure some of you have, on Netflix. It's to do with functional fitness, using normal functional moves that you'd use in everyday life instead of just using the same repetitive movements. So really looking forward to trying that out sometime, and I will give you a review on how that's going as and when I do it. But that is all for food and the gym section of it. Lastly, I just want to mention the recipes that I have been making, which are low calorie, very tasty food. It's literally from this book here, Pinch of Nom. I bought that in Sainsbury's, and I really suggest it. It's got really great recipes in there, and I was really happy with what I was eating from that book. So it's really helped me to have a bit of variety and taste while still keeping the calories down. So the weigh-in section of this, as I mentioned before, start of the week, before I was actually weighing my food, I was actually massively overdoing it on carbs. If I look at my macros on the Fitbit, even without the wrong measurements that I was already having, my carbs was at like 75% and my protein about 10%. So miles off where I needed to be, and that was without the additional food that I was actually eating without realizing. So the weighing the food has really helped me to turn that around, and as you see, I've managed to drop the 300 grams, or it was just under a pound. So really happy with that, and really hoping that now that I've got a bit of control over what I'm eating more, and that I can really push on and start replicating the same sort of numbers that I was before. It's been a very long plateau, which has been hard to deal with. sort of wondering where I'm going wrong and all that sort of stuff. So really happy that I'm back on track, and hopefully I can start to really improve that number going forward. The mental health section of the video. So what I had on my wall originally, which I showed you all at the start of the year, was my goals for 2020. Now I've been walking past that every single day. Some of them are harder goals than others, and the fact that I'm not managing to complete them as quickly as I would like because I'm super impatient, it was starting to make me feel not a failure, but like I wasn't performing to my highest level. So how do I counter that, or how do you counter that with your New Year's resolutions and stuff like that? Well, I've managed to break it down now into 3-month sections. So it will be my goals between now and March. So for those of you that remember the first episode of this, you will remember that these were my goals for the year: to finish my diploma, to change my job, pay off the credit card, be under 80 kilos, an unassisted pull-up, run 10 kilometers and 100 subscribers. Now, some of them are very difficult to do. My diploma, for example, I started it in November. It's supposed to be an up to 18-month course, and I feel like I can finish it faster, but to just put finished diploma, it doesn't help me with trying to realise if they are good goals or not, or to see what sort of progress I've made. Same as changing job, doesn't really give it much definition on what that really means. Pay off the credit card, there's a lot left on the credit card, it's going to be harder to pay off straight away. 80 kilos, I'm quite a long way off that. You know, some of these are very difficult. So, what did I do? Mini goals to do before March. So, I've got 2 modules here. My aim is by March to finish these 2 modules. This is something that I can really work towards and push towards. That makes it a lot more bite-sized and a bit easier and less overwhelming to keep looking at my wall. It also means that I can use one of my pens to tick it off when I'm done. Again, it's a sense of achievement that I'll get from doing that. Move department or role in current job. That one's something that I can measure, something that I can do quite a lot quicker. So that's what I wanted to do. Stabilise monthly spending. Again, it's a much smaller thing to ask of than just to pay off an entire credit card's worth. So this is what I was looking at doing. It's literally just to break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks. Therefore, it'll make it a bit easier going forward to actually achieve some of these instead of feeling like a failure because I haven't. So if you have goals that you feel are going to be really difficult to do straight away, please just look at breaking them down into smaller bite-sized chunks that you will be able to do. And then I also downloaded an app on my phone. If you just go daily goals into the Play Store or the Apple Store or whatever you're using, you'll find an app. My goals for each day are really simple goals, but at least it gives me something to really work towards and really have a sense of achievement about my day. So even when it's a quiet day where I can't necessarily work directly towards those goals on my wall, I have little goals that I can feel proud of. Little things as simple as make the bed before I leave the house. Make sure the washing up is done before I go to bed. For those of you that have listened before, you know that I have a cold shower in the morning. I've now put that on my daily goals because I did stop for a little while. I'd really like to get back on top of doing that. And I've also put to watch at least 1 YouTube video per day that either teaches me a new skill or enhances a skill I already have. For anybody who feels that maybe they're not growing as much as they could, it's a really simple thing to sort of learn. You can just put in a random how-to video. You can learn any sort of skill over about 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be advanced level or anything, but at least you're adding something to your arsenal that you didn't have before. So that's what I've done with my daily goals. In terms of work, I have mentioned on here a few times that, you know, I really was feeling very unfulfilled with the job and was feeling that my growth had stopped. So I was finding it very difficult mentally to be there. I just sort of felt trapped in this box and really felt awful about that. last week I applied for a new job within the same company, but a new role in a brand new team. Part of the reason for this was just because I've done quite a few different jobs. I've been a manager in retail, I've been an estate agent, I've worked on train stations, and now I'm in the project environment. And this is another project area, but it would be just a new feather to my cap again. Part of that is I do like to challenge myself and throw myself into new things. I'm not scared of change. I actually embrace change, and I need change to feel like I'm growing as a human and as a person. So that's a massive improvement for me in terms of the week that has passed. Also, over the last week, I just finished a book that I've been reading, which is Ant Middleton's The Fear Bubble. For anyone who hasn't read that book, it is amazing. It goes through how to use techniques that he's learned over his time in SAS to counter fear of many kinds, of how you can use that in everyday life to start pushing yourself through to opportunities that maybe you would never have seen before or just wouldn't have been brave enough to walk through. It's a really great read. It also goes through his time climbing Everest and the challenges he faced for that. It's a great read. I'd highly recommend it for anybody, whether you're trying to learn how to grow and improve yourself, or whether you just need to find a story of somebody who's achieved something which many people cannot. It's really inspirational, really interesting read, and very, very informative as well. So highly recommend it. Also, over the last week, I have been in a very high mood. I've been very happy, sort of starting to get a hold of how I need to feel towards my life. I'm starting to feel more in control the more I start to take control of it, and the more I start to take decisions and actions that are working towards what I really want in life. So feeling in quite a positive place right now, but I have felt like this before. I managed to drop back in, but I'm just sort of learning the tools, especially through my therapy, learning the tools of how to go from them lulls back into the high in the shortest amount of time possible. If any of you need any help on potentially how to do that, one, I would read the book that I just mentioned. Two, there are many books that will teach you it. Or three, just speak to me. I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you about that if you were struggling. The only thing that I have struggled with recently is that I haven't been sleeping very well at all. I have been having dreams over and over again, nightmares really, of either dying or being murdered, or all of these things that I thought was really crazy and weird. My therapist actually works alongside somebody who deals with how dreams may affect people's psychology and potential meanings of what they could mean to every person. Essentially, your dreams are literally just your brain reorganizing all the information using images it already has stored inside and sequences that it can create with things that it already knows. So it's basically just a rearranging of the brain. And the fact that I'm dreaming of these particular dreams, what most scientists say, whether it's true or not, or whether you like to believe it or not, is everybody's opinion. But what science says is that those dreams of being murdered or dying or anything like that, it tends to mean that it's the old part of you that is passing, and there's a new sort of part of you inside that is trying to push through and take control. So hopefully, really would love to know that that is the meaning, and that all of these bad dreams are actually me just starting to sort of flourish and my new self starting to come through. Other than that, it's been a pretty good week mental health wise. Don't forget, if you do feel the need to talk to anyone, especially today, it's this Monday is Black Monday or Blue Monday, one of the two. It's supposed to be the hardest day for anybody in terms of mental health of the whole year. So If you do need somebody to talk to, please just reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. If you need to talk to a professional, you feel like you might need any sort of professional help, again, I'd be more than happy to help you. If you don't want to talk to me, please contact Mind UK. They are an amazing organisation. They helped me get the help I needed, and I am miles away from where I was before I went to see them. So please just either pick up the phone or just write an email and find out how they can help you. But that is all from me for now. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, please like the video, please comment, let me know your thoughts and feelings or any questions that you may have, and I'll address them in the next episode. But for now, have a great time, and I will see you next week.